Hi, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share strategies for success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best strategies are concise business advice. And so with that, we're going to get started with our guest. And for question number 1, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hey, Keith. I'm Stacy Cason. After a 15-year career in healthcare as an anesthesia provider, I made a huge pivot and went into commercial real estate development. And then 2 years ago, apparently needed a new challenge and started a hemp extraction company called Planetarie.
Awesome. And that's a huge growing industry right now. Probably lots of changes going on there as well. So
lots of changes, very fast paced. And we invented a water extraction system. So there's a lot of research and development and a lot of changes even within that.
Wow. All right. So with all that history, question number 2, what's the best thing about being a business leader?
We have the opportunity to inspire change. We have the opportunity to develop and fulfill your dreams and those around you. And we get to flex the passion muscles.
I like that passion part. Without that, a lot of it doesn't matter. So
Correct.
Question number 3 then. I hear from other leaders that a lot of times their people strategy is more difficult than, say, their business strategy in their actual business. What are your thoughts on that?
I would agree. And I think it's because we're dealing with dynamic human beings who have their own free will. And they may or may not comply with your stated strategy. And I think that depends upon how much you've inspired them and how much they are in alignment with the company's mission.
So yeah, it's not just background, but like you said, that alignment with the strategy and more than just skills, but actual alignment of strategy.
Yes. If they do not believe in their hearts what you're doing, they probably will not be in alignment with your strategy.
Right. Okay. Question number 4. What strategy would you like to share with other business leaders?
Set boundaries and yet be flexible.
Okay.
Plot your course and yet be willing to pivot. Things most likely will not turn out the way you planned, despite all your best plans. And the ability to go with the flow is priceless. So have the faith that things will turn out exactly as they are supposed to. And you can choose to either be in resistance with that or to go with the flow. I can tell you that nothing about my life has turned out the way I would have planned 20 years ago, with one exception. I do have a golden retriever. But everything else is dramatically different, and it's amazing. So to choose to go with the flow, do the pivots as they arise, and enjoy the ride.
I like the part where you said, your life is amazing because, you go with the flow and it may turn out very different, but if you see the benefits and the positives along the way, it will be amazing. So.
I think that's the choice. I think we can choose to say, this is amazing or this is terrible. And you can look at the same situation and have both opinions. Some people would probably not like the life I have. Some would find it aspirational. So I think it's a choice to have that mindset.
Well, and going back to the earlier question, you mentioned passion there. It seems like passion really plays into that as well. That
yes.
When you're really passionate about it, the journey and the pivoting doesn't necessarily matter as much as, hey, I'm passionate about where I'm being led to or where I'm going, and
yes.
and enjoying that.
Yes, definitely. Passion is the fuel, along with coffee sometimes.
I like that. All right. Question number 5. What other successful business owners, CEOs like yourself, would you like to acknowledge here, or you think would be good on this podcast?
I have 2 females, one my lifelong mentor and my aunt. Sandra Putman. She's been an inspiration leader for my whole life. Another is Tribby Warfield, who has been a business mentor of mine, and she's CEO of a pretty large company now. Mike St. John in Denver has become a really dear friend and source of advice. Even if it's the weekend, he will come over and help me brainstorm on things. So I appreciate all three of them greatly.
Awesome. Well, we'll have to look them up and see if they're available and maybe have them on as well. Okay. So we can glean some advice from them as well.
Of course.
So question number 6, just a final fun question. Tell me about your favorite past boss.
That was a hard one. I actually never liked having a boss. When I was in high school, my boss was the office manager, office where I worked, and she's probably the best ever, Penny. And I also had a great boss at Miami Children's Hospital, Dr. Gonzalez, when I was fresh out of anesthesia school. But for the last, many years now, no boss. I like being my own boss.
So in that regards, did you kind of always know you wanted to be an entrepreneur, or did that just happen along the way?
And it took a little while to fully be in that. And finally, it was a point of, I'm actually not a great employee. I do better when I have my own direction. So, yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's been a great career and successful, and you've got, a lot of good things going on right now. So,
yeah, I think so.
Well, it's been great having you on. Before we leave, can you tell people how they can get a hold of you?
Yes, of course. So Planetarie is PLANETARIE.com. I'm on LinkedIn, Stacy Cason, CASON. I have a couple of other social media outlets, and I do a bit of philanthropy and speaking on the side, passions in women's rights and women's causes.
That's great. Well, again, it's been great having you on.
Thank you.
And this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. For more insights, you can follow us on iTunes at Weaver Business Coaching or on LinkedIn. And we wish you the best success.